Dude.
What?
Dude.
What?
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Welcome to the Guardians of the Freaking Galaxy. We got new footage. I totally love scenes like this. This is really indicative of how things get so crazy in the Marvel Universe, yet they keep the story relatively self-contained and human, so you can understand that these are just people trying to form a family together. Even Nebula there is going crazy. So there's a new round of the Marvel giveaway. I'm giving away those Hasbro Spider-Man figures. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So I'll announce a winner when I post that trailer video tomorrow. But after they released the first trailer, James Gunn went on and on about how they let Drax and Dave Bautista be so much funnier in this movie. It's the same way people are talking about Chris Hemsworth in Thor Ragnarok. Like, he's a very funny person in real life. Let him be funny in the movie within the scope of the character. Some of the Drax lines in the first Guardians film got some of the biggest laughs when I was in the movie theater watching it for the first time.
She betrayed Ronan. He's coming back for her. And when he does, that's when you...
Why would I put my finger on his throat?
What? Oh, no, it's a symbol. This is a symbol for you slicing his throat.
I would not slice his throat. I would cut his head clean off.
It's a general expression for you killing somebody. You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
Yeah.
Everyone knows.
So a lot of you are asking for a Groot origin story because we have Baby Groot, so I'll sort of explain the logic behind Baby Groot in comic book Groot because his origin story has changed a couple times in the comics. He was originally created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in Tales to Astonish, and he became this nightmare for Spider-Man. He was really just meant to be this living tree that talked that was really scary, like, oh my god, it's another monster. Later, he became more of a Guardians of the Galaxy character, got a more complex backstory, and then later writers, even in the more recent run, rewrote that story again to make it a little less hardcore. So in the original version of events, he's just a nightmare in Peter Parker's head. He just has this crazy dream. He shows up during Incredible Hulk Annual number 5, just very brief appearances. The first time he shows up in the Guardians of the Galaxy universe, his origin story is that he basically just doesn't get along with other people of his kind. He's from the planet X, he's Flora Colossus, and he's sort of their version of royalty. So he's almost like Star-Lord. He's this very special person even amongst his own people, but just a total outcast, just does not fit in with anyone but the Guardians, which is part of what draws him to them. So the part that they changed from his backstory is the reason he left his home planet is because he was exiled by the other Arbor Masters, which are basically like their ruling council, for killing another of his kind to protect a non-Flora Colossus. So on their planet, they're omnipotent, they have genius-level intellect, they're a highly evolved species, they pass information along photonically through photosynthesis, it's very efficient. So they're these highly evolved creatures, but they have mammals to do lesser jobs. So what happened is that Groot saw one of the other Flora Colossus abusing a mammal, so he intervened, ended up killing one of his other species, so they banished him. And he actually became a captive of the Collector in the original version of events. So like during the first Guardians film, when the Collector is like, please allow me the pleasure of taking your body when you die, like he wants to collect Groot, that was just a bit of a wink at that. Then, during the Guardians of the Galaxy comic, the reason that he comes to work with Star-Lord is because for unknown reasons, he's a captive of the Kree, and he and Rocket gain their freedom by joining Star-Lord's Guardians of the Galaxy, so they escaped during the conflict. That was during Annihilation Conquest, so it was the Annihilators trying to destroy the universe with the help of Ultron. It was a crazy story that they didn't really adapt for the movie. But then what happened more recently in the comics, because of the resurgence of the Guardians of the Galaxy comics after the movie came out, they sort of rewrote everyone's backstory a little bit. So Groot's backstory now, the only change that they made is that the reason he got banished from Planet X, his home planet, is that he realized his race was abducting people. He found someone named Hannah, rescued her, and then they banished him because he broke their laws. So that's really just the minor change. Instead of killing one of his own kind, he just went against them. So you can see just a less hardcore version of that story. But the Baby Groot twist, just to explain that, so in the comics, he's capable of growing himself from pieces of his own biomatter. just like you would grow a tree that still had a root system that was intact. So like, you can trim a tree and it will still continue to grow. So it's kind of the same thing with Groot. He can reconstitute himself from even a small piece of his own biomatter. So you kind of see that play out the first time you meet him during that Annihilation Conquest storyline. So like this panel here with Mantis, she was actually part of that first Guardian story where you see her spritzing, sappling Groot here. That happened during that very first Guardians Groot story. Before that, he was sort of a character that existed by himself. He wasn't always a Guardians of the Galaxy character. But because of the way Marvel is branding itself, the way it's selling toys, there are a lot of questions about whether or not he is going to stay Baby Groot when we get to Infinity War. It sounds like he might, but there hasn't been any evidence to show that he will or he won't, so you guys can let me know. Because in the comics, he is capable of increasing his mass very quickly, so he can grow anytime he wants. But the way James Gunn explains Baby Groot in this movie is that he has no memory from his previous life. So this is like a brand new version of Groot. He said he is dumb as rocks, so when he's being all cute, trying to press the button that's gonna blow everyone sky high, he's actually trying his hardest to help, to listen to Rocket. So it's not like he's playing dumb. He's actually very dumb in this movie, in this moment, but very eager to help. So we'll see how long it takes him to figure out, or if he stays this way when we get to Infinity War. But either way, let me know what you guys are most excited about. I'll post that trailer video tomorrow night. It'll drop really late at night, so it'll be after my Flash episode video. But there'll be some new DC TV that I'll be posting later today, so it's going to be a whole bunch of Marvel and DC stuff happening the next couple days. While you wait for that, you can click here for more Guardians of the Galaxy, and you can click here for brand new Iron Fist. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.